Okay. So today we're going to be installing a handbrake on the go-kart. So reason being is going up a hill, I'll stall it sometimes, or I'll just stop and have to go again. When it's a really steep incline, it's hard to not roll back, you know? And so I'm trying to prevent that. So if I had a handbrake there, I could pull the handbrake, work just the clutch and the gas instead of having to worry about all three pedals. On top of that, the one that I got also has a lever on it, so I can pull it back and lock the handbrake in place. So it's like a 2-in-1 handbrake, and then I can also use it as a parking brake because we don't have a parking brake on this right now. You just throw it in gear and leave it, which is just better just to have a parking brake, you know, to be triple safe. This was like 30-some, $40 on Amazon. Actually seems pretty nice. Overall construction is not too bad. The only cheaper part you can tell is this. So maybe the seals are bad in here. Who knows, they might work fine, but worst case, if I have to buy a better one of these master cylinders, then not too big of a deal. But also got an adjustable handle on it. I already lowered it to as low as I can make it, just because for what I'm using it for, probably the lowest setting will be best. So let's find a spot where to put it. So I'm thinking probably right around here would be pretty good. Got the shifter on the left side. I'll have the brake on this side. So yeah, I was thinking of hiding it back here, but it's not in the way up here. It doesn't get in the way of my knees at all. So I think I put it right there. Be pretty good. Have both levers on both sides. And yeah. So how my brakes are ran, the brake line comes down through here, over, down, around, and then back there into a T. And this is the side of my shifter, and I decided to put it on the other side. So I'm going to have to grind all the tabs down, the ones that go right there, and the tabs that go right there, that hold it down, which isn't a big deal, and then re-weld them on the other side, and then kind of bend the line to go on this side of the go-kart so that I can put the handbrake right here. That's not a big deal, but first things we're going to do is we're going to build a mount for the handbrake. Like I said, I'm going to put it right around here, and in the scrap bin I'll show you what I found. Okay, so I found this piece that was already cut on that side, and it fit perfectly on the base right there. So I drilled 4 holes after I marked them here, and there's 2 right down there. I put some riv nuts in it, some M6 riv nuts, and so now everything fits up good and bolts it on, and I'll show you what it looks like on the buggy. Oh yeah. Oh, all right. So obviously I'm going to cut it right at the end of this base right here, but it fits good over the tube. I'm also gonna shorten it so it doesn't stick up so high, but it is sloped this way, so it's gonna be tilted more straight like this once I cut that back end off. But just to get a good idea, with it sitting right here, it'll be pretty good. And like I said, it's gonna sit a little lower and a little more tilted back, but not in the way of my legs at all. Still got room, so we're good here. But yeah, so next thing I need to do, cut there, and then I need to measure a height to cut it this way. So I think what I'm gonna do is most likely just go a little bit below those riv nuts right there, and then cut the bolts to so they fit under there. So I'm gonna cut it there so then it fits nice and low against here, because I don't want it sticking up way up here. So, and with it sticking low, I can also always adjust the handle if it is too low, which I don't think it will be. But all right, so got the plate cut out, got the bolts shaved down, and now it's time to weld it onto the frame. So I already got the paint scraped off right there, and we're gonna install it right there. So let's get the MIG fired up. It's barely, well, it's not touching, but It's really close. Touching there, not a big deal, but feels good right there. But yeah, so get the MIG fired up and weld that plate onto the frame. All right, all welded up, so feels good. Now, next thing I need to do is run the brake lines. So, found fitting somewhere. Maybe this one? Oh yeah, actually the one was already threaded in there. So that one threads in there. This one didn't, so I need to find another one for that one. Okay, so day 2, I took the line off the front on this side of the go-kart and put it on this side. This just needs a flare on it, but I got it pre-bent to sit along here, along the sides going up to the front. And then, because I cut it, I don't have enough length to go to the front, so I had to buy one of these to go here, and then get some more line that I have to extend it, because I haven't line long enough and I didn't want to buy more. So next thing I'm going to have to do is re-bend this one to go along here, add the extension, and then thread into here where I got my new fitting to go there. And then this back one goes to from the master. This front one, sorry, did I say it right? This back fitting right here comes from the master. This front fitting is what goes to the rear brakes or front brakes or all the brakes, whatever, however you're doing it. Got the lines ran. There's my extender thing down here. An issue I have is obviously it's leaking there. It's not all the way threaded, but when I thread it all the way in, this fitting's still loose, so I need more threads. So I'm gonna go need to get a different fitting for there. Hopefully that one will work. It's bottomed out, but the hose is tight versus this one. You can see how loose it is. But so I need to get a new one of those, and then that should finish her up almost. And then we just need to grind off our tabs, like right there, and then probably reuse them over here somewhere to hold the lines in place. Probably one here, maybe one down there, I don't know. And then definitely need one up here. I just have it taped up to hold, but need to put one up here as well. But yeah, so grind those tabs off, get a new fitting, and then get something to hold the lines, and then we should be good. This basically sucked. The fittings from the last clip, maybe 2 ago, they're leaking. Fittings were stupid standard sizes, not metric. And these were weird inverted flares, not normal. This one was normal, blah, 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 Chinese junk, right? So I was seeing if I could get a different clutch one to work and take off the reservoir, but the issue with that is when you push the brakes, it's gonna pressurize. You pull this, it's gonna pressurize the other thing, because this is a check valve in it. It got really complicated. I didn't want to spend a ton of money on a nice one. So I came up with this solution. It's a weird solution, but let me show you what I got. Okay, so you can see there's some weird welding going on. It doesn't look the same. So it's the same thing, but these fittings are stupid, and then they eventually stripped out. So I cut off an extra brake master I had, cut that off, welded the fitting there, cut this one off, and welded it on there. So now I have standard fittings, better aluminum, so they don't just strip out like these ones did. And like I said, they're metric, so just so much better. And the flares aren't inverted, there's normal flares. So after I did that, everything's good. Handbrake works. Brakes still work. I also got brake line mounted here. I got one mounted there, another mount here. So the brake lines are mounted, everything's done. And yeah. One thing is though, I can't really get in on this side anymore because of the line sticking up and I don't want to damage them. So this was the easier side to get out because of the shifter, but now it looks like the other side's going to be the in and out. Getting in is a little bit harder now because once you're in like this, sometimes it's just hard to get there. But handbrake on this side, nice good distance. Shifter on this side, about the same distance. And we've got the parking brake here. If I could show you, I would, but pull it back, and then this just hooks on. Let me show you what it looks like once it's hooked. There we go, so it's hooked on. Takes 2 hands to do it to lift that tab up, not a big deal, but at least it's got a parking brake. Usually I just throw it in gear, but yeah, and then to release it, pull back, and it just falls down, and you're good to go. And yeah, all the brakes still work, everything's worked, so that's complete. So that's gonna do it for this video. We're heading to Little Sahara on Saturday. Today's Thursday, so 2 days. So glad I got that finished for there. And one more thing I'm gonna do, which will be in the next video, is installing a lift in the back and maybe the front, most likely just the back. So if you wanna see that video, stick around. That one should be out hopefully in the next few days.